Hello my lovelies. My name is Boaty, or at least that's what everybody calls me. I'm a middle-aged man with the mind of a 12-year-old boy, and an immature one at that. And I live alone in a centuries-old cottage in the Peak District National Park. Today is Monday, and Monday is my day off. So I normally do something, and today I'm heading off to see my best friend at his car yard in the foothills of the Pennines. It's a really bad hair day. It's just started to pile it down with rain, and it's pretty chilly. Oh yeah, and I'm driving a car where the clutch has pretty much given up the ghost. Here we go, my lovelies. Welcome to another Monday with me. Deep breath. Good morning, Dickie Dum Dum. Good morning, Miss Boo. Good morning, Sheeson. Good morning, Stigbuk von Thundercock. Oh, it's like a vehicular version of the Waltons. Bloody hell, look at the weather. Look, darlings, there is blue sky ahead. That's encouraging, isn't it? I'm driving one of my small fleet of modern classic cars from the MG Rover group. All between 20 and 30 years old. All between 20 and 30 years old. This particular car is a 2002. Having to think about that. This particular car is a 2002 Rover 45 1.9 litre turbo diesel connoisseur with the rather iconic L-Series diesel engine. If you're not interested in cars, don't worry. I won't be banging on about them too much. And this car is going to the yard because it needs an MOT, and it's going to need a couple of bits fixing, including, oh hell's teeth, including the clutch, which a couple of days ago decided that it had got bored with being a decent, God-fearing, hard-working clutch, and it was going to mostly give up the ghost instead and demand attention. There you go. That's clutches for you, isn't it? So, how will I be getting home, I hear you ask? Well, I will be coming home in a 1999 Rover 623 GSI, a very rare and quite important car that I own a share of. But more about that later. For now, let's enjoy a journey from the Peak District to the Pennines. Here we go. And this is my local village, the village of Baslow. On the right hand side is Kerber Gap and Kerber Edge, which is an amazing place for a walk. Do check it out. almost immediately we come into Carver. There might be an MGF on the right hand side. Ah yes, there is indeed. Now this little bottleneck here is the historic village of Stony Middleton, and coming up just on your right hand side is the Toll Bar fish and chip shop, closed today. Just here, look, on your right. And that's unique in that it is the only UK fish and chip shop that is a listed building, but it's rather well known, partly due to being a favourite of Liam Gallagher's, but the chip shop, it's been featured on many of the biggest food review, takeaway review, YouTube channel type things, and on mine. And then as we come out of the village with Lover's Leap Cliffs to the right hand side, on the left you will see a new development of holiday apartments. Very recent thing. It's if it's finished, it's literally only just been finished in the last few weeks. And then we will climb, oh bloody hell, we'll climb through the woods and come out on the open tops of the peak. The famous plague village of Eyam is to the right. I'll show you around there one of these days. And we're going to head through a beautiful tree tunnel, which is already rather nice, but as spring well and truly kicks in, will become even more beautiful. Fabulous. I don't think it made it onto the camera, but there's a lovely hillside stream that runs alongside to the left. This road is the only thoroughfare that crosses this part of the peak, so it's effectively the only main connection between Chesterfield or anywhere around that area to Manchester, and as a result of that it is frequented by heavy goods vehicles. They literally have no other option. So that means if you're driving this road during the day, you are going to get caught between something large and slow moving. Now, there are spots on the road where you can overtake with relative safety. Not something that I'm going to do in a car with a slipping clutch. But even if my clutch wasn't slipping, then experience tells me, and I have a lot of experience of driving this road, experience tells me that it's kind of pointless overtaking a large, slow-moving HGV, because if you do, then you'll just get caught behind the next one, quarter of a mile up the road. So I'm stuck behind this container lorry, but I can see, even if the camera can't, that travelling about, I don't know, 1,000 yards in front, there's a tanker. So if I overtake this chap, I'm just going to get caught behind the next chap. So don't bother, just waft along at the speed of the HGV and enjoy the amazing scenery. And it is amazing, even on a wet, windy and slightly wild day like today. forest. Now, when you look at the dark skies ahead, in this part of the world, they would say it's looking a bit dark over Bill's mother's. But where I was brought up, we would say it was looking a bit dark over Grandad's carrots. Let me know in the comments below if you've heard either of those expressions, or if there's another similar expression that you use where you are, or was used in your childhood. And this is the point where we are going to join, for a short while, the A6. To the left there is Buxton, or the road to Buxton. It's not far, 3 or 4 miles from here. But we are turning right towards Chapel on the Frith. You may get a glimpse on your left hand side of the railway line. There, you might see it on the left there, just about to enter into a tunnel. That is the Buxton line. Chapel on the Frith is off to the left. We are heading straight down the bypass. Now the bypass carries straight on over this island, and it bypasses Chapel, and then it begins the run into Manchester through Stockport. But we're turning left and we're going a different route. So on the outskirts of Chapel, we're heading right. So we go underneath the bypass, and then you will see a double viaduct. Plenty of age to these viaducts, and just on your left is the convergence of 2 railway lines. And we're now going to turn right here on the road to Glossop, and we are heading, and we're going underneath the Hope Valley line, which travels from Sheffield through the Hope Valley on into Manchester. Beautiful journey. And we will now be climbing, gaining altitude, and heading up to an area known as the High Peak. Oh, lambs! Beautiful lambs! And from here, things begin to get really rather beautiful. Now, my regular viewers know exactly what's coming at this point. Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, your thoughts and prayers, please, for, on your right, the Freelander of broken dreams. Our fallen brother, we salute you. the centre of Glossop by turning left onto a stunning road called Monk's Road. We now commence the climb up towards Coombs Brow, the local high point, where I think I can promise you a pretty amazing view. There. Oh, my goodness me. So in the distance there is Manchester. On a clear day from that summit you can actually see Snowdonia. Dropping down past this rather lovely little chapel on the left. We're dropping down into Charlesworth. Thank you. You will see that in this part of the world they're big fans of the old speed hump or sleeping policeman. And we're going to do left and immediately right. Heading towards a place with the rather wonderful name of Broad Bottom. There's an absolutely gorgeous church on the left, especially spectacular at night. If you look very carefully on your left hand side, you'll see that Jesus himself, with his arms outstretched, is greeting us. Good morning, Jesus. Hope you're well. It's only polite, isn't it? And then have a look at this fantastic viaduct there. That is a railway line, and it's the Woodhead line, which used to go from Manchester to Sheffield, and it was kind of superseded by the Hope Valley line, and it was closed, so it now runs from Manchester to Glossop and no further. It has been updated, it's now electrified. Now just on the left there, you might not be able to see, but Broadbottom station is just a little bit down to our left. There you go, you can see the signs down to the platform there. Now that somewhat circuitous route is worthwhile on two counts. One, you get to drive the Monks Road, which is stunning, and you see those views. But number two is it avoids Glossop pretty much entirely. And it's well worth remembering for that exact purpose, because Glossop is a terrible bottleneck, and you will be stuck. I guarantee you will be stuck in queues of traffic if you go through it. And this route means you don't have to. Now there's another bottleneck that we would have hit if we'd gone straight on, but we know a clever little way around, don't we? We do indeed. The big Tesco on the right hand side, and always the cheapest fuel in the area. So if you are in these parts and need fuel, that's where to go. We chuck a right here. Oh, you might see an aeroplane there. Very good area for plane spotters, because we are underneath the final descent to Ringway, Manchester Airport. Tesco on the right, McDonald's on the left, then there's a Premier Inn and some form of pub. And then at this point, we're going to pick up one of the UK shortest motorways, the M67, and then we've got two other motorways which are going to take us pretty much all the way. And motorways are fairly boring, so at this point I will put you on time lapse, and I'll see you when we get off the motorway. Welcome back, my lovelies, and you join me as we leave Rochdale. Now, there was another route that we could have taken, and it would have been a lot more scenic, and in terms of distance, actually considerably shorter. But because of the nature of the roads, in terms of time, it would take twice as long. So we sacrifice scenic beauty for expediency, and we go round the motorways. M62 is now on our right. The M62 is of course the Pennines motorway, which kind of from this point on really becomes pretty beautiful itself. You can possibly see it in the distance as it begins to climb into the green stuff. Ellen Road Engine House is over to our right hand side. So yeah, this is the borough of Rochdale, but we are heading towards Milne Row. Gosh, and the weather is pretty awful. What terrible weather for a day at the yard. Oh well, can't be helped. Now the beauty of Milne Row, if that isn't a contradiction in terms, oh, there's a tram stop on our right hand side. The Manchester Supertram things, the Supertram thing comes right out to here, and indeed goes further. It's surprising how much area it covers. But the beauty of Milne Row is that whilst it's on the outskirts of Rochdale, which is perhaps not the world's most beautiful place, it does nestle into the foothills of the Pennines, and you only have to drive literally a couple of miles and you are in some really rather scenic splendour. We turn left onto Kiln Lane, taking in the Chop Suey Bar and Omar Sharif's Balti House, which is a brilliant name. And here we arrive at the Yard of Dreams. And if we're very lucky, and I think we are, Captain Mustard here will open the gate for us, so I don't have to get out and get wet. How very kind of him. Hello, sir. And we will find somewhere to... Oh, whose car is that? I don't recognise that. I wonder if we have a guest. And there we are. Now I'll explain the yard and Mustard and everything to you in a little while. Ugh, horrible weather. Right, I'm going to get out, get my coat on, and we will crack on with the day. There you go. Have a windscreen wipe. Oh, and meet James, the Freelander. There he is, look. Right then, darlings, you join me at the yard, although very specifically we're sheltering from the horrendous weather. My God, it's like the plagues of Babylon out there. So we are in the lockup of Aged Pants or Lost Hope or something of that nature. And at this point, I will introduce you to the gentleman, well I say gentleman, the chap known as Captain Mustard, who will slide into shot any moment now. That's alright, I can edit the gap out.
There's nothing like being awkward, is there?
There's nothing like being awkward.
Hello.
Hello. So this is Captain Mustard, and the story of Mustard and Boaty, or how we met and whatnot. Now, Captain Mustard here, he had a YouTube channel before I had one. And when I started my channel, he very quickly became a bit of a super fan. Some might say a stalker. I prefer to say a super fan. And he persuaded me to come up to the yard on one Monday, and we met, and he basically convinced me that we should start doing some things together, especially as he is, as you can see, he's a considerably older gentleman than myself, and he is frequently bewildered, especially by technology. And I took pity on him and decided to help him out, didn't I?
Oh yeah, all of that, definitely, every single bit of that. Yeah, every bit of it. There's not an ounce of exaggeration or mistruth there whatsoever. And if there was, he could edit it out.
So,
would you like my version?
Yeah, go for it.
Hi. This chap turned up here one day, did himself a 120-mile round trip to collect an item that I would have given to him for nothing. Why? Because he wanted to meet me. And then he proceeded to talk me into doing videos with him, of which every single one of them I practically regretted, because all it's done is make me lose popularity. Isn't that true?
Well, it's not entirely a million miles away from the truth, it must be said. But the point is that since that day, about 18 months ago or so, it became a regular thing that on my day off, on a Monday, I would head over here to the yard.
And waste my time.
And,
yep.
Well, that was mutual, wasn't it? And we came up with various ideas for us to become, achieve fame and fortune, or at the very least become slightly less poor. We launched a joint YouTube channel called The Doings of Mustard and Boaty.
Which failed.
Yes, that died on its ass. And then we launched a car sales business called Mustard and Boaty Do Cars.
Which failed.
Yes, that died on its ass.
Yep.
And currently we're
about to fail at something else.
Well, podcasting. We're currently failing at podcasting. So, yeah.
So expect anything that you see involving the both of us to be a complete flop. Thank you.
Well, darlings, the sun has come out, and so we can start moving the cars around in the yard in order to liberate the car known as Windsor Davis. Now, oh, I haven't introduced you, have I? I've introduced it to him, the hairy camp damp Jesus. But I haven't introduced you to his pride and joy. This is Project Nigel, and indeed the inspiration of the YouTube channel Project Nigel. So this is Nigel, an old friend of mine. I spent a couple of days with this car. Undoubtedly the most famous Rover 25 in the UK. And if you'd like to know the story behind this car, check out the video on my channel where I explain everything. Right, why he's doing this rather than just move this black heap, I don't know, but there we are, doing it he is. Oh, yeah, you're out of that. Oh, what a good idea. Oh, it's hunting a bit. It's hunting a bit. Yeah, it won't hurt it, will it? But as Mustard pulls this car out into the metaphorical sunlight, let me show you a bit of the history of this car and how we came by it, and then I'll tell you the story of why it looks as abandoned and unloved as it undoubtedly does. Roll the backstory. Good morning, darlings. Welcome to Monday morning. And we're going to the seaside.
Yes, we're going to the seaside to make a castle.
I don't know what to say. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Right, let's go. You joined me at Leicester Forest East Services, where we've paused. Mustard is going to have tea and a dump, possibly not in that order. I'm going to have a cigarette. We are, of course, on our way to Cirencester, which is not where we're on our way to. Actually, it's Chichester we're going. I cut down trees, I skip and jump. I like to press wildflowers. I put on women's clothing and hang around in bars. On Wednesdays I go shopping and have buttered scones for tea. That's brilliant.
Oh yes. You know who'd approve that, don't you?
Barry Shitpeas.
Yeah.
They call him Barry Shitpeas because he shits peas.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Your destination is on the left.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, that was it. I saw the car.
Yeah.
It's pointing in the right way.
Indeed.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Right, thank you.
It's pointing outwards rather than being driven inward.
So we're here then, really, aren't we?
We are here, yeah.
Spidey Lodge. Do you think Spider-Man lives there? Oh, I better stop recording, hadn't I, too? Oh.
What?
Oh, you're just going to abandon it here on the main road?
I'm not sure, really.
Okay. Right, my loves, well, we've just done the deal on the car, which I can reveal has a name. It is called Windsor Davis. So you join us at some random manky services on the, oh, I don't know, the A12 or something in the arse end of nowhere. And I'm finally going to get something to eat. But I have to say, this is the best car that I've driven for a long, long time. You can't even begin to compare this car with, well, anything of the generation that came after it. It's 1,000 times better than a 75. It's 1,000,000 times better than a 45. This is a genuinely stunning car. It's stunning to look at. The equipment levels are amazing. You've got electric seats, they work. Cruise control, that works. Electric sunroof, that works. Air conditioning. No comment on the air conditioning. The air conditioning needs recharging. Look at the condition of the interior. And it just drives sensationally. It's statesmanlike, it's poised, it's refined, it's unbelievably comfortable. Just what a fantastic car. Good morning, my lovelies, and what a stunning day. Oh gosh, what a stunningly bad hair day by the look of it. Gosh, it's warm. Let's get the sunroof open. Here we go. Right, I am in Windsor Davis, the Rover 623 GSI, and I am taking it to Captain Mustard at the Yard of Dreams. So there you go, that's the story of how we came by the car. We went a long way to pick it up, and almost immediately we sold it. And then things kind of didn't go according to plan, mostly our fault. And without going too much into the whys and wherefores of it, the car spent all of last autumn, all of last winter, and some of this spring just living here in the yard. And a couple of weeks ago, we kind of decided, yeah, enough is enough, time to do something. So we got the car MOT'd, and now I am going to take it, and I am either going to do a jolly good clean-up on it and do an extended sales pitch or series of sales videos, or don't tell anybody. I might decide that I need to keep it.
You seem to be doing something that would help.
I am doing something, I'm filming you.
That means that I get to do the work and you get to make the video. What a combination.
As usual.
Get out of the way, you fucking lazy bastard.
As usual, I'm here in a supervisory role, which is kind of the way things tend to go.
It was my fault for suggesting that it could do the wash, wasn't it?
At the yard. So yeah, so we're going to make the car look, and I say we, the car is going to be made to look slightly more respectable before I take it away and take it back to the Peak District, where it did visit before. I did have the car for a few days at my place before it came to the yard. So it won't be on completely unfamiliar territory, but let's have a good look at the state of the car now, and let's compare that then to how it's going to look, or how it will look, when I've spent a week bringing it back to its former glory. Okay, well, it's now about 6 o'clock, and it's time to go home. So Windsor Davis here he's had a quick wash, checked a few things, checked spare tyre, checked all the levels. I've got all of my rubbish in there. Let's give you a quick look inside him. Nice leather interior. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of mould removal needed. I've got the camera set up for filming on the way home. I've got my Bluetooth and wireless music-y thingy, so that when I'm not recording I've got some music. That's the original stereo there, but that's going to be replaced in fairly short order. I've got the luxury of cruise control on the way home. I'm going to need some petrol. Windows all work, and let's have a look in the back. I'd totally forgotten, this car has got full service history, fully stamped up, original factory overmats throughout, which are also going to need demoulding. So there we are. God, can you see the mould on the windows there? So we need to head off, get some fuel, and then head home via the supermarket, because at home at Windy Bottom It's low tide at Wine Bay. Mustard is busy making one of his own videos. So at this point, we will indeed say goodbye.
Cars on the way.
Oh, is he coming in? Shit, okay. Right, see you later. Okay. £20 of slightly overpriced fuel has gone in. Time to go home. Can I remember the other way? Maybe I can. Here we go. Back onto the M62. Okay, so we've been getting a feel for the car. Now, the one thing for absolutely certain is a new pair of wiper blades are very urgently needed. Other than that, what can we say? It's very wafty. Very wafty. It's actually like driving a Silver Shadow. It's wafty. It's wafty. It's drifty. It's exceptionally comfortable, but it's a very undynamic type of ride. That, darlings, is the church I showed you this morning, and I have literally, oh, I have to get that window up. I've literally been seeking sanctuary here. There's just been a horrendous storm, thunder, lightning, hailstones. My God, all of the ferocity of a vengeful God. And that vision was just impossible. That windscreen wiper, oh dear me. Oh, it was just too bad. Too bad, too smeary, couldn't see where I was going. So I've parked up for 10 minutes and I've just, let me show you the state of that. Hold on. I've done a bit of a clean-up job on the wiper as best I can, and hopefully it's a bit better, and the rain is easing, so I think I can safely attempt to try and get home. Dear oh dear. Right. I'm absolutely drenched because no option but to go out in that rain, and not the worst of the storm, but I did go out in it to sort that wiper out. It's definitely better now. Definitely not perfect, but definitely better. God, I'm freezing. Okay, that's not entirely clear. I take it Chapel Brow is fine. Well, we'll soon find out. So this is the road we came down this morning in reverse, so we're now heading up to Monks Road. My goodness me, there's been a lot of hail up here. Gosh, could even be snow, couldn't it? Oh, look at this. Crumbs. Okay, my lovelies, I'm going to keep the camera rolling because, gosh, we're virtually in cloud. Maybe, I was going to say I'll keep the camera rolling because the views going this way are better than coming the way we did this morning, but they might be obscured by the low cloud. Goodness me, look at this on the road. I mean, that's snow. Gosh. Hail or snow or whatever it might be lying on the uplands. Goodness me. Oh, oh dear. Oh. The storm genuinely was biblical. Huge peals of thunder and flashes of lightning. Goodness me. Oh, the poor sheepies and lambs. Bless them. Oh, tractor. Oh, I'm all fogged up. Let's get the windows down. That's better. Need to see if anything's coming. Well, I can hear something coming. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's gone so cold. really was some storm. Goodness me. What's going to be next, I wonder? Fire and brimstone? It's like we're back in December. Oh God, breathe in. Sorry about the noise, I'm trying to warm up. Got the heater on full blast. Well, this is not what I was expecting for the drive home tonight. Gosh, can you believe it? Crawling along at, what we're doing, 25 miles an hour. Better safe than sorry and all that, I guess. Hello darlings, and you join me at Morrison's Chapel on Le Frith. Tricky chaps, Friths, where I have just bought some wine for tonight. A loaf of bread and some bread rolls that were reduced to virtually nothing. 7 pence, I think. And very unexpectedly, a new pair of sex pants. Yeah, I know. I wasn't expecting that either. Right, let's get home, shall we? I'm beginning to enjoy this car now. I remembered the trick to how to drive and enjoy it. And as I mentioned before, it's the same that you do in a Silver Shadow or Silver Spirit. You just enjoy the comfort and you waft it around with your fingertips. Okay, my lovelies, well, I won't lie to you, the journey home has been something of a nightmare. Largely because the weather and the fact that thanks to this damn wiper blade, I've been struggling a bit with visibility, so that has rather taken the shine off the drive. Couldn't have picked much of a worse day all round, really, could I? But the car is fundamentally superb. An absolute pleasure and delight. I can't see a bleeding thing. It was bad enough in daylight, but at night with oncoming headlights, dear oh dear. Oh, I will be glad to get home. Yeah, the car is fundamentally sensational. It's incredibly smooth, it's refined, it's all the things that I knew it was before, but I've forgotten about. Now, it needs some minor fettling, that's for sure and certain. Windscreen wipers, obviously, they need to be first on the list. The interior light isn't working, that's probably just a bulb. It needs a thorough valet. It needs outside and particularly inside, it needs the mould removing, it needs the leather, needs some hide food and treatment, all of the other surfaces, plastics, vinyls, they all need treating to bring them up to speed. Ideally, the gramophone, the onboard gramophone, could do with replacing. The gramophone itself is fine, it's the original, but it has a separate display which also incorporates the clock, and that isn't working. And it's an old cassette player, you know, admittedly with a stack CD system in the boot. So I've got a spare Bluetooth unit. I think that will make its way in here. Ideally, I would like to get hold of remote locking thing, program those into the car. But these are basically just minor things. Fundamentally, the car is okay. Just pull out. Fundamentally, the car is a sheer delight. Now, the only question is, there's no question that it will make a superb modern classic weekend car, show car, fun car for somebody. The only question is, do I do some little bits on it and advertise it for sale, or do I do some little bits on it, sell one of mine and keep this? Time will tell. In the meantime, here we are, home, safe and sound, and I'm very glad and grateful for that. And the rest of the evening will entail the live stream and a lot of relaxing. So thank you so much for watching this one. Much love from me, and I will see you next time. Pachoo, and indeed, bosh.